ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीं अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदः क्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 17. Please read 16 and 17.
द्वाविमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थोऽक्षर उच्यते उत्तमः पुरुषस्त्वन्यः परमात्मेत्युदाहृतः यो लोकत्रयमाविश्य बिभर्त्यव्यय ईश्वरः।
Bhagavan Krishna described the Ishvara Tattva, Parameshwara Tattva, the principle of creator principle, from standpoint of few upadhis which are glorious. The glories of Ishvara were described. Now, the Swarupa, what in reality Parameshwara Tattva is, that is being now described, for which he has adopted a method of dividing the upadhis in two categories. One is Kshara Purusha, the creation that comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. Other is its unmanifest cause, the Maya Shakti, which is not destructible like this repeatedly in every kalpa, but it can get ended only in Atma-jnana, Brahma-jnana. From that standpoint, it is relatively indestructible, relatively, not absolutely. It ends, but only once in Atma-jnana, in Brahma-jnana. Whereas this upadhi, made up of the Pancha-Mahabhutas, etc., the creation, all the objects and living beings, they are born, they die, born, die, born, die. Perishable, destructible upadhi, Kshara upadhi, Kshara Purusha. Akshara Purusha, indestructible upadhi, relatively. Now, independent of these, on the contrary, these two upadhis depend on that entity which is everlasting, never destructible. That is the Chaitanya Tattva, Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva, the real nature of Parameshwara, called here as Purushottama, Uttamaha Purusha. Most excellent Purusha compared to Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha. We are seeing the verse 17. Let us see the Bhashya. Bhashya, Uttamaha, Utkrishtatamaha. Read.
उत्तमः उत्कृष्टतमः पुरुषः तु अन्यः अत्यन्तविलक्षणः आभ्यां परमात्मा इति परमः च असौ देहाद्यविद्याकृतात्मभ्यः आत्मा च सर्वभूतानां प्रत्यक्चेतनः इत्यतः परमात्मा इति उदाहृतः उक्तः वेदान्तेषु।
Uttamaha, Uttama, the best one. Uttamaha, that means, what is the meaning here? Best mean Utkrishtatamaha, most exalted from the standpoint of Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. Repeatedly destructible Upadhi and a lasting Upadhi relatively compared with that. He is never ending, always indestructible, the Swarupa. Uttama, Utkrishtama, Purushaha, with respect to the other one. Anyaha. Anyaha means different, not just different, totally distinct and opposed to the nature features of Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. How different, how distinct, the contrast can be seen now. Contrast between Uttama Purusha, Chaitanya Sarupa, Atma, Brahma, the very basis of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. See, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara also derive that existence from Chaitanya. That's why at one place, Bhagavan Shiva says, who is Bhagavan? Sakaro Naiva Bhagavan. Anything which has got a form cannot be Bhagavad Tattva. Nirakar, Bhagavad Tattva is Nirakar, formless. And in the entire cosmos, the only one entity can be formless, and that is Chaitanya, Chit, Chaitana, pure awareness principle, pure conscious principle. See how easy and accessible to everyone is this Bhagavad Tattva, because it is a Swarupa. And yet see how we are deluded and we run here and there to find out Bhagavad Tattva. If at all some astikya buddhi is there. There are people who deny the existence of God itself. I think the what is that? The reason for this, that many people deny the existence of God, may be lying with those people who profess the existence of God, because they are not in a position to present properly, or more appropriately, it can be the preoccupation of the other people in the sense pleasure that makes them not available for inquiry. If with sincerity, with Shraddha, inquiry is taken to discovery of Bhagavad Tattva, Paramatma Tattva, is the most easy one, so accessible to us. So therefore I say, so Atyanta Vilakshana. Now let us see the contrast between Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha on one side, Purushottama on the other side. Let us see. Akshara Purusha leave aside because it is repeated indestructible. Relatively indestructible Kshara Purusha. This, what is that? Prakriti, Maya, and its Karya, effect of Jagat, is Jada in nature. It's Jada inert. Again, Andrita is a false appearance. Third, Dukkha. It is totally filled with the riddled with the sorrows. Whereas Purushottama, Paramatma, Chaitanya, that is Jada, this is Chaitanya. That is false, Adruta, this is Satya. That is Dukkha, this is Ananda. Now you opt which of the two you would like to have. There is no question of opting. You are already seeking Ananda and freedom of sorrow. But unfortunately, at a wrong place. Is there any living being in this creation which doesn't seek happiness and doesn't want to get rid of sorrow? Everyone is busy to accomplish this in their own way. But method adopted is wrong. Do something and get something. This method is always in the realm of Kshara Purusha. And that which is Kshara Purusha, how can it give you everlasting happiness free from sorrows? Think. Vedanta is not some swallowing like that. It analyzes and places before you what the truth is. You have to discover that. So therefore, so contrast is there. But our habitual preoccupation or due to ignorance and aviveka, value-based preoccupation in the Vishayas, sense objects, do not make us available for this inquiry. Even if taken to this inquiry, we do not take seriously the further pursuit because the pull of sense pleasure is there at the same time, nowhere Paramananda in gaze. Someone said it seems. Vedanta says you are Paramananda Swarupa. You are free from sorrows. You never die. You never are born. But where is that you, me? If we open the eyes, we see the world. If we close the eyes, we see only darkness. Brahma kidhar hai? Atma kidhar hai? This is the plight of the common man. Because the sense pleasure that you are striving for is given up temporarily. Paramanda is nowhere in the view. It is a period of test. How intense Shraddha is it? With due determination, the Shraddha in the Shastra, one has to pursue and withdraw from the preoccupation in the sense pleasure. More and more you are withdrawn from this, for which desires need to be curtailed. If you curtail desires, you become more and more independent. This is freedom, more and more independent. And where more independence is there, peace and happiness is bound to be. Freedom is measured in terms of dependence. More dependence, less free. Less dependence, more free. No dependence, Paramananda. No dependence means what? Even dependence on this body is not there. It is possible only where? In the knowledge, direct knowledge, aparoksha anubhava of a Swarupa, where I am Paramananda Swarupa, free from sorrows, experience. On what do I depend upon? I can show my thumb to the entire cosmos, including reverential namaskara to Ishvara, who helped me so far. Even you don't need Ishvara because you discover yourself to be the Swarupa of Ishvara. Ishvara is not different from you. In Swarupa, Upadhita, they are different thing. So this is freedom. You try, but try what? Try to reduce your desires and find this thing. I'm giving a single simple example. 99% people in the modern world are habituated to take tea or coffee or something, some decoction. Nothing wrong, much wrong as such. But you have dependence. Something happened, दूध वाला आया ही नहीं है. The milkman has not come. Where is your tea, coffee? Something happened. Sugar is not there in the house at all. You forgot to get it. Or tea powder or coffee powder is not there. Dependence. If you don't have that, you can show thumb to the world as far as tea and coffee is concerned. I will tell you my personal example. In 1970s, I was in Bombay as a brahmachari. So I was given an accommodation which is connected to a big educational institution. One room with a toilet. And the organizers had arranged my food and the tea, coffee. Breakfast, I have to get some biscuit and something like that. Or some fruits. And how that tea used to come in the morning, there was a sepoy who used to report to the duty at 8 a.m. and nearby there was a college hostel with canteen attached to the same institution. From there he used to get me the tea around by 8:10 or 8:15 he used to bring. Lunch dabba also used to come from that hostel only. One day it happened, I had to go to Mulund for some function. And it was around, I have to reach there by 9:30 or something. I have to leave my place around 7:30, something like that. I'm not going to get the tea now. Not that I didn't have money, I had money. But as a brahmachari, it didn't appeal to me to go to a hotel and take the tea. So I went without the tea, and the function is over. I found I got terrible headache. The whole day I was having headache. And this is because of not taking tea. After some time, the organizers arranged for a camp of 2 days, somewhere on the Western Express Highway only, some rural area. And I have to report at Andheri station by 8 o'clock. From their transport to the city. Those days, nowadays, students provide all, what is that, transport and such, breakfast, etc. Those days are just new, and also students were not that aware that this needs to be taken care of in the cases where it's not possible. So I have to report at 8 o'clock. Then I thought afterward they had arranged for a breakfast and all. If I get the headache, I have to run the show there. Because all programs I have to conduct. With headache, how will I be able to conduct? So before that, about 4 weeks earlier, I decided to stop the taking tea. I have to take twice. Morning once, afternoon, by evening once, twice. First day, it happened that headache was there. I was aware of that. After it went. Then I had to stop the afternoon tea also. That also went. So I am without this thing. No tea, no, I have no dependence on tea at all. So see how all along now, no dependence as far I wanted freedom, at least with respect to the tea. That I found, now if I take tea, I don't get sleep. That was I found. Those days, every summer I used to go to Rishikesh Ashram. Stay there for 1 or 2 months and do some study projects. I used to go by Rajdhani Express. Those days Rajdhani Express was something new. I was not accustomed to sleep in an air-conditioned coach whole night. So morning, bed tea comes just to warm me up. Whenever I was traveling in the Rajdhani, I used to take the tea. Only once, after not with the breakfast, etc. Only once. 1 year continued, 1 or 2 years continued. Afterwards, I found that the day I take even a single cup, I don't get the sleep. Think of it. With this sample, less desire, more freedom. No desire, you are totally free, not at all dependent on the creation. You are the basis of creation. This is not a pep talk. This is the truth. But it appears strange to us because we know not what the truth is. So therefore, Atyanta Vilakshana. Sharapurusha, Uttam Purusha. Total contrast. And that Uttam Purusha, Chaitanya, Ananda, no sorrow, is me. That is why Bhagavad Krishna, even at the risk of repetition, repeatedly emphasizes, better know yourself. Enough of this game of hunting happiness in the world and trying to get free from the sorrow, from the world, which is the den of sorrows. But we should be serious in this pursuit as such. If not, we have no capacity, let us pray. So Jnana Vairagya. Instead of praying for this and that, pray to Bhagavan, give me Jnana Vairagya. You know that prayer for food? Annapurne Sadapurne Shankara Prana Vallabhe Jnana Vairagya Siddhartam Bhikshandehi cha Parvati Bhikshandehi me Parvati. Oh Annapurne. Oh, who is the thing what? Full of Anna for entire creation. Sadapurne. Always Paramanga Sarupa. Shankara Pranavallabhe, one is the most dear to Bhagavan Shiva. Give me Bhiksha, means food. For what? Jnana Vairagya Siddhartha. I want to get Vairagya and get Jnana. For that, I have to keep this body for some time. Please give me Bhiksha. Annapurna. At Kashi, the Annapurna temple. Parvati is Jagadamba, the mother of the universe, who provides the food. It's a story that once Shiva and Parvati, while just talking, Shiva offended Parvati by his words. Maybe as a humor, but she was really hurt. So what she did was she simply disappeared. Stopped her function. What is the result? No food in the entire cosmos. Shiva is lost in his Swarupa. He is not aware what is happening around. Then the mass petition went there with the Devatas, etc. Bhagavan, this is what has happened. So Shiva became aware of that. And he also realized his mistake, that he has very harshly offended Parvati. So now the problem needs to be solved. He saw from his omniscience, where is Parvati? Parvati was in Varanasi, Kashi. And he disguised himself as a bhikshu. And went and asked, Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. Oh, madam. She could not recognize who is he. Please give me Bhiksha. The culture, etiquette. She's a household lady, mother of the universe. She gave the food. Like that. Being Sarva Shaktima. With that, he appeased the hunger of all. Like Krishna did, Krishna did when Durvasa came and was about to give the curse to them, who Pandavas. Because that pot that was given by son to Dharmaraja eats only once the fruit, what is that? Food to any number of people. That day they had finished their food. And Draupadi has watched and inverted. That day he is not going to give the food. And at that time, because of instigation by Duryodhana, Durvasa came and asked for the food. Said, please have bath and come. Now they said, now we are ruined. We can't give the food and he's going to curse. So only this what is oh Krishna. Draupadi and all brothers started thinking of Krishna. Krishna came. And Draupadi, I'm very hungry. Please give me food. Draupadi said, Bhagavan, even at this time of our such a, what is that, calamitous condition, you are humorous. We are going to get ruined now. I have nothing to give you all, and you are asking food. He scolded Draupadi. What are talking about? Bring that pot. Krishna, we have already taken the food. I have washed it and put it inverted. Today it is not going to give the food. Krishna said, simply obey me. Bring the food. He brought, and he put his hand. There he found a piece of spinach, palak. Oh, you had spinach today, Aisha. And that piece of spinach he put on his tongue. He is who? Adhisthana of Jagat, Yogeshwara. And when he gulped it, the hunger of all the Durvasa and disciples had gone and stomach has become full. Krishna said, Bhima, call them. Call them. And Bhima went to the Gada and went to the bank of the river to invite Durvasa and this thing. Food is ready because it was not totally clean. Food is ready. Where is the stomach? Place in the stomach there. They said, no. We are full now. No. Have you come as a guest and you can't go that way? And he forced them. Durvasa understood. He said, apologize. This is because of that idiot Duryodhana. I did it. Very sorry. I bless you all and ran up with them. So like that. So even we, of course, we seek food. We seek the blessing of Ishvara. Jnana Vairagya Siddhartha. By the by, in Varanasi, that temple, Annapurna temple is there. The custom there after worship is, generally what happens after worship, during the worship, first you offer the Naivedya, food to the deity. And after the puja is over, it is particularly the prasad. It seems in the Annapurna temple, after the certain phase of the puja, food is distributed as the prasada first. And remaining one is offered as the Naivedya. Because mother always feeds the children first and then she partakes the food. That's the custom. Anyway. So all fine. At least if we are not able to take to this serious, because the pull for self-pleasure is so strong, that doesn't mean that you give license to that. No. Try your best. And yet, not possible. Pray for jnana and vairagya. As it happened in the case of Swami Vivekananda. So he was more in this, involved in these spiritual things. He was the only earning member. No earning. And the father was not there. Condition at home was very pitiable. No home to stay, nothing to eat, etc. So he pleaded with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Please pray to mother so that my family gets minimum food at least and shelter. Ramakrishna said, you go and pray. Go. Ask mother. He sent him. He went in front of the mother. And in front of mother, he forgot everything. And he asked, oh mother, give me jnana and vairagya. He came out. Ramakrishna was asked, did mother grant you? No, I asked this. Why did you not ask for this? Go again. Thrice he went, but he could not ask for that. He asked for Jnana and Vairagya. Third time also, Ramakrishna rebuked him, but he said, don't worry, bare minimum things will be there, because that is their prarabdha also is. Bare minimum, they will get it. They will get it. So we can seek Jnana Vairagya and sincerely work for this. Ishvara will certainly help us. That is what Yoga Kshema. Whatever necessary to this pursuit, providing yoga, whatever we have got, protecting Kshema. So that is the case. So Atyanta Vilakshana, totally in contrast to what the Jagat is and what we pursue in life. So Atyanta Abhyam. Now, totally distinct from what? From these two. Two. What are those? Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. Purushottama, that's what he said is Purushottama, Paramatma is totally distinct from Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. From what standpoint you see? One is Satchit Ananda, other is Asat, Achit, Anananda. Total contrast. And all along, we seek only Sat, Chit, Ananda. Then better seek it at the right address. Which address? Purushottama. Not wrong address. Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. That is why Bhagavan is telling all this. Abhyam, then Paramatma is Udharata. So why is called Paramatma, the Purushottama? Paramatma iti. The word is derived. Asau dehadi avidyakritatmabhya paramaha cha. Asau means this Purushottama is Parama, Utkrishta, true, not falsely imagined. Then what? Dehadi avidyakrita atmabhya. From atmas, underline the word atmas plural. We'll see what they are. From atmas, falsely projected by avidya, ignorance. In the sense, Chaitanya Atma is one non-dual. But in the realm of ignorance, we take Annamaya Kosha, physical body, as I, as Atma. We take Pranas, Pranamaya Kosha as I. We take Manomaya Kosha, mind as I. Vijnanamaya Kosha, intellect as I. Anandamaya Kosha, ignorance as I. These are not truly I. They are not true Atma at all. But taking into account the universal mistake, temporarily they are accepted Atma. Finally, Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. That Paramanda Swarupa, Brahma only is the real Atma pointed out. So this notional, erroneous I, Atma, at 5 loci of Panchakoshas are, with respect to them, this is Paramatma, most exalted, and truly I, Atma. So that is how, that is called Paramahacha Atma. And further, Sarva Bhutanam Atma cha Pratyak Chetana is Sarva Bhutanam Atma as Pratyak Chetana. Pratyak Chetana means one who enlivens every being. Sarvami Chetayati. All that is inert makes it appear as sentient. Atma is Sarvami Chetayati. So Pratyak Chetana. Pratyak means interior, in contrast to Parak, exterior. See, everything other than Chaitanya I is external to us, exterior to us, because it is experienced as this, and whatever experience this is jada, inert in nature. Whereas Pratyak, the innermost, the most independent of all these, is what I is never, can never become this. It is always the subject I. And more, and the thing is distance from I, it becomes what? More and more dependent on many things. For body to function, it will depend on pranas, senses, mind, intellect, and of course, the ignorance which protects all this. Whereas Chaitanya Atma is concerned, even in the absence of all this, it continues to exist. Let us analyze this in two stages. In sleep, I am, but with I am means what Chaitanya is. With me, ignorance is there. In fact, this ignorance deprives me of my Swarupa, which I am at one ment with it. In sleep, we are in our Swarupa, but that awareness, that experience, that knowledge is deprived because of ignorance. Ignorance depends on I. I was not aware of anything because the awareness was there. Then comes the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha, ignorance depends on Chaitanya. Vijnanamaya Kosha depends on intellect and the ignorance. Manomaya Kosha depends on Vijnanamaya, ignorance. Pranamaya, earlier three. Annamaya, earlier four. So more and more dependence. Pratyak. But one thing, when you say innermost, don't imagine Chaitanya and layers of all this. Some diagrams are available like this. Those are figurative expression. It is not actual like that, covering it as a not. So innerness, that is what is called as pratyaktva, has to be measured in terms of subtlety, sukshmatva, and pervasiveness, vyapakatva, and independence. More gross, less pervasive, less subtle, more dependent. Chaitanya, subtlest, imperceptible, indriyatit. It is most independent. It doesn't depend on anything, self-existing entity. It is by itself is Ananda Swarupa. In that no trace of sorrow is ever possible. Not that possibility of sorrow is there, but there is no sorrow. No, no. Sorrow itself is next to impossible because sorrows are at the level of physical body, mind, intellect, and its cause, ignorance, where it is inherent. Chaitanya Atma is free from that. Sorrow is not possible. See that. All that we have to do is what? Withdraw from our preoccupation in the sense object Vishayas for sense pleasure, Vishaya Bhog. Just remain what you are. Chaitanya, free from all this. That is being aware of such Sarupa. Is Atma Jnana, is Atma Anubhava, itself is called Sakshatkara, itself is moksha. As I told you, delay is in having the prepared mind. It takes time. Mind habituated to all the past things is not readily available to this person. But effort should never be stopped. The day the Antakarana Shuddhi is there, that day perfect Vairagya will be there. That day the mind can be withdrawn from the external thing and make abide in the Swarup. So Pratyak Chetana. Iti ataha. Therefore, Paramatma iti udar. Distinct from all the notional, erroneous Atma I, the most interior, that which is called Pratyak Chetana, and that which is called what Udarta. Uktaha Vedanteshu. It is said so means it is described so in the Vedanta. Continue, Sahaiva.
Saha eva visheshyate.
Sahaiva. The same Paramatma is now specifically described. How? Yaha Lokatrayam.
Yaha lokatrayam bhuhu bhuvaha swarakhyam swakiyaya chaitanyavala shaktya avishya pravishya bibharti sarupa sadbhava matren bibharti dharayati avyayah na asya vyayah vidyate iti avyayah ishwarah sarvajñah narayanakhyaha ishanashilah.
Second line is being commented now. Yaha, that Purushottama, distinct from Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. Lokatrayam avishya. Avishya means pravishya, having entered. Lokatrayam, three lokas, the entire cosmos. Whether you say Bhu, Bhuva, Soha, or seven lokas up, seven lokas down, it is all one and the same creation. Jagat. our Brahmanda. And like that, innumerable Brahmandas are there. So, Yaha Lokatrayam. What are the lokas? Bhu, Bhuvaha, Swarakhyam. Here in this category of three, Bhu means earth and all patalas down. Bhuvaha, Antariksha, intervening space. Swaha, all heavens up to Satyaloka, Brahmaloka. Swakiya Chaitanya Bala Shaktya. By one's own Swakiya, belong to oneself means Swabhavikya. The Chaitanya Bala Shakti means nature itself. Not that some other power is there. One Swarupa itself is what Chaitanya Bala Shakti. What you call Jnana Shakti. Which is Pratyak Chaitanya Swarupa. Of course, along with the Maya Shakti is there. Avishya, Pravishya means being available that way. It is like this. Chaitanya Atma is asanga. It doesn't get connected to anything. But in Maya Shakti, the Chidabhasa, reflected Chaitanya, what is there is what? Available as the Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. By that, Avishya, having entered the creation, Vibharti, sustains, protects. How? Swarupa Sadbhava Matrena. Not that this Chaitanya Atma have entered and then to sustain. It's got a secretariat, ministry, etc. No. By its mere presence of real nature. Just by real nature. Simply its existence gives that sustenance, that entire Jagat. Swarupa Sadbhava Matre. Vibharti means poshayati, protects, nourishes or sustains, dharayati. And that is Avyaha. That Purushottama is what? Avyaya. No se vyaha vidyate avyaya. Vyaya means decline, change, destruction. It has no all the time same. It is indestructible. It is avyaya. Again, that principle is Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha Narayanakhya. Sarvajna. Omniscient. Omniscient. See, all we know is through the channels of Antakarana Vrittis. Any knowledge, including ignorance, I don't know, is presented to us through Antakarana Vrittis. These Antakarana Vrittis are inert in nature. That which makes us aware of these Vrittis, which gives the knowledge, is the Chaitanya Paramatma. Therefore, all we know first is the element known by who? Paramatma. Then we come to. Generally, some devotees or all devotees have the habit, when they are in trouble, Oh, Bhagavanta, Paramatma, don't you know that I have got such and such trouble? They are asking Bhagavan, how is that you delayed? Don't you know I have got trouble? When they are in trouble, they remember, oh, Ishwar. When everything is going on goody, accomplishments, put it, I did it. Bhagavan is forgotten. Bhagavan smiles. So therefore, we should be aware of that anything we experience, anything we know, anything we accomplish is because of this Chaitanya Tattva Paramatma only. Otherwise, we are like the electrical gadgets without electricity. When this internet came now, knew that it was coming and being introduced. Someone, one of my students, they had a factory at Thana. And Thana means load shedding, no electricity. He was jocularly remarking, we are entering the internet stage without electricity. What is the use? Internet, all devices are there. No power. It happened even, I think, sometime in the railway booking. All computers are shut. No power. Maybe nowadays they have taken precaution or something. So, very life of ours, very activity of ours, very knowledge of ours, every experience of ours is centered, dependent on this Chaitanya Rupa Paramatma. Better pay attention to this truth. So it's necessary. So therefore, Ishvaraha Sarvajnaha, omniscient, everything is known. He is a Narayanakhya, called as Narayana. In the very beginning of the Gita classes with Bhasya, there was a prayer wherein Narayana word is etymologically derived. If you have taken notes, you will be there. Otherwise, go to the very first class of this Bhagavad Gita Bhasya in detail. The word Narayana is derived there. One of the meaning is Nara means Panchamahabhutas. Nara means what? The aggregate of Panchamahabhutas. Bhutas and what are effect of that. In that one who abides. Nara is ayanam, abidance, lying down is Narayana. So that is one meaning is that means one who abides in that and as what? The Pratyagatma sustains the entire Jagat is called as Narayana. Means one who has got abidance in the Nara. Other meanings are there, you can see that. And who is Narayana? Ishana Shila. Ishana means Niyamana. Controlling. One who controls the entire cosmos. Because of whose laws the Jagat function. Bhishasmadvatah pavate, Bhishodeti surya, etc. All phenomenal powers function regularly, punctually, because of this Ishvara's law. Ishvara's law. So that is the one who is Purushottama. That is the basis of entire Jagat, on which depend Kshara Purusha and Akshara Purusha. So therefore, by discarding the two padis, one frequently destructible, other relatively indestructible, never getting destroyed, indestructible, Purushottama Tattva was described. Why is called Purushottama? That is derived in the next verse, we'll see.
ओम स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।